everyone, this is Dalton at Dalton NCFs, and today, as you can see, we're taking a look at the Transformers Combiner Wars Entertainment Earth exclusive Platinum Edition Liokaiser. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about this. We'll get more into that later on in the video. But as you can see, we've got the 6 members here being Dezarus, Skyhawk, Fellbat, or as we all know him, Hellbat, Iron Bison, again as we know, Kill Bison, Drillhorn, and Ion Scythe. So we don't have Leozak or Jaguar in this set. Hoping someone ends up working on one of those. You get the box art here. Or, not really the box art, but the figure information and everything. On top it says, the Destrons are a foul group of criminals and convicts that also happens to be one of the most elite strike teams in the galaxy. Together they become Liokaiser Combiner, whose sheer power is rivaled by his penchant for evil. Almost said perchant. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean, but anyways. So let's get this box out of here, and we'll take a quick look at the bonus content, I guess you can say. You get your little card here. You get a poster that is just a bigger version of the card. You know, just says Combiner Wars on it. Nothing on the back really, so there's those. And of course you get your big instruction booklet, but we do not need that today because I've got links down in the description that you can check out. And we are going to skip the transformations and all but Dezarus. I do have Skylinks, I just haven't reviewed him yet, so we'll just flip-flop that around. And there goes my background. So, first we're going to take a look at Dezarus himself. Now, he is a slight retool of Skylinks. The main difference in vehicle mode is this new section right up here. Just this little area with these cockpit windows, which are the eyes, and 2 little crests here. Very nicely painted. I do really like the colors on this. It's got more of those Leozak colors as opposed to Dezarus. Just this kind of teal. You got the black and red of Jaguar. A little bit of yellow tampography here. A little bit of that same kind of yellowish gold. Some black painted in through here. A lot down here on the bottom. We'll get more into that in the robot mode, which I guess we can go ahead and take him to that right now. Go ahead and take these little fins off. And what I like, well, to start off, go ahead and bring down the legs. Open this section here. Bring out the what will be the front legs. And make sure everything's all in place. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward transformation. Pretty simple. I'll bring this section up and put that into place. You just got like 4 joints here. 3. Yeah, 3. And bring down that panel. There we got the head. And from here we bring down the tail. Now, on Skylinks, you would have the wings up like this. So you can do that. Now, for the G1 Skylinks, you know, his wings were pretty much like that. So I think for Dezarus, I'm going to have them more up and back. Kind of like that. Just, or actually, yeah. Too bad you can't have them like flipped around the other way, but I guess this works. Kind of have them folded up. And you can take the tail weapons and plug those on. Give them more of a pronounced tail that likes to pop off. That's the only issue I have with this as of right now. Now, a lot of people complain about the joints on the legs, mostly the beast mode feet, being really loose, and well, now they're wanting to fight me. I didn't have any issues with it before when I got him out of the package. He would stand just fine, but now he's just wanting to buckle under his own weight. But there is a fairly easy fix for that. You just unscrew it and put a little bit of clear polish in there, like floor polish. And you tighten it up. Also, you got to flip this forward. So there is Dezarus. Let's get him out of here for now. And we'll take a look at Ion Scythe. Little arms micron. Now this is the first time one's been mass retailed or, you know, in a box for mass retail. The closest thing we got were the ones for the BotCon figures. But weird little bird thing. Go ahead and flip those. Flip the tail back. Close that up. And there you got his little weapon mode. And this weird... I don't even know what to describe this. It says it's an ion scythe, but it doesn't even look like a scythe. And maybe if you do something like that, I don't know. Just a weird little melee weapon. So, those are off the side, bringing in Fellbat, or as we know him originally as Hellbat. He is a straight up repaint of the Skydive mold, with the new head, of course, but very nicely done. I do like this deep, like, navy blue that they use. It's kind of almost a purple, so I guess like indigo, or I don't know. Go ahead and take these off. Just prefer to have him with the big combiner hands. Very nicely painted yellow. It's a nice, like, dark yellow. If they painted the Legends Bumblebee all the same color, I would have been happy. Black around the trim and silver paint on the wings. Don't know what color they're molded in. It's kind of hard to tell, but they are painted all the way through. Red missiles, a lot of yellow breaking up the blue underneath. We'll take a look at that in robot mode. A little bit of silver here on the edges of the fins, and back here. So there's that. Bringing in Drillhorn, which this is kind of the fan mode I've come up with him. That looks a little bit more like the original. Just adding the combiner piece back here, just as it would be kind of for the weapon mode, and plugging that in. Now you can still do it the way that nose cone is shown on his packaging or on here for Drillhorn, or do it the BotCon Ramhorn style, and I think they have it solicited this way on nose cone, but as that. And I mean, it looks better as a drill tank, but I still don't really care much for that. So I'll just stick to the way I like doing it. I mean, nothing really gets in the way of anything, and it all like mixes together pretty well, part-wise. So there's Drillhorn. And bringing in Skyhawk, who is... Oh, actually, let's go over Drillhorn's colors. Very nice bright blue. If they would have switched the colors on Drillhorn and Hellbat, I would have been even happier, because he was supposed to be more of this purple color, like this is. Or, just even purple in general. Kind of got this like off-white color here. Treads are painted to sort of match it, but it's not quite 100% a match. Got some silver up through here, some more of that yellow, black, and silver striping. That's all throughout all these guys, so I'm glad they kept it uniform. Some little metallic blue for the windows of the drill cockpit, silver on the tip of the drill, and some little yellow and red there. So, bringing in Skyhawk, very, very pink. Repaint with, of course, a new head of Air Raid. Now, really, the only paint on here is the black and yellow, and then the silver, so it all ties in there. Very beautiful silver out here on the wings. That is just bright. It pops. And that's not just because it's pink either. Just the silver and the red and black just really stands out. So, really nice looking jet. Bringing in Iron Bison, or again, Kill Bison. Little Abrams tank. And this is kind of the way I like having him, because He's supposed to be kind of like one of those Black Panzers. There's been a lot of those lately. So there is a Shapeways kit where you plug it in up here and it adds the cannons here to the side. Until I get that, this is going to be how I have him. So just a whole bunch of guns, which kind of fits his name, just Kill Bison. But go ahead and take these all off. Get a good look at the tank itself. It's kind of this bright gold plastic. You get some more of that silver, red, and black, or white, silver, yellow, and black here on the side. Very bright silver covering all the treads. And most of the, turret section except for the cannon and this little piece. As far as paint, that's really it, besides the little bit of black here and some in robot mode. A little bit of red tampographed here on the front. Little tiny Decepticon symbol there, so really nice. It has its problems, but I still really like this mold. So let's go ahead and get these guys in a group shot and go from there. Alright, and here we have them all in vehicle mode. Again, just like most of the Commander sets so far, they look really good together. So here we got, the Destrons. So, like I said, wish we had Liokaiser and Jaguar, but I guess Hasbro had other plans. Hopefully we'll see what Takara has planned. If not, it looks like Megatronia and Ruination might be their final combiners, because we haven't heard anything from them yet as far as Unite Warriors. So let's go ahead and get these guys all in their robot forms and go from there. And here we have the Destrons in their robot modes. There's one last little step for each one. For Kill Bison, we just flip down these little things here. And, been hearing Buddy Dakota, you guys might know him as Primal Sabbath, saying that this would make a great big convoy repaint, and I can't help but agree. I mean, yeah, you've got that bowl shape to the top of his head, but at the same time, it's hard, it's uncanny. So now, as far as his weapons go, I like to again have him decked out with the twin cannons, his pistol, and have the cannons on the back. For his head sculpt, very nicely done. A little bit of a paint chip there, but very nicely done. Some more of that silver and red coming through. A lot of that unpainted gray. Now, hardly any issues with mine. The legs don't flop around too much. This one's a little loose. Other than that, the waist holds together just fine. The only other looseness is just here on one of the arms. I mean, this one's a little loose, but that one moves just freely. And yeah. So this arm's the loose arm. The rest are fine. And here we've got Guy Hawk. Now, one thing I prefer to do is have the cannons mounted on his forearms, just like so. And you can even, I think, just for stability's sake, I'll switch these guys around. Where's their weapons? Give him the big missile launchers, mostly because his arms are tighter than Hellbat's. So there's one way of displaying him, with two big rocket pods on his arms. There's that. His legs are pretty loose. Everything else is fine. Head is a little on the loose side, but it's not terrible. I mean, it will hold a pose, but it's just really easy to move. But yeah, the legs are floppy, especially at the knees. But that's really the only problem. Most of the paint here is still the same. Again, very nice looking head sculpt. You still kind of get that eagle, that hawk beak on it. It's very nicely done. A lot of black on him. I guess they're going with that whole, well, boys don't really like pink toys unless they have other colors. We already looked at Dezarus, but here's one alternate way of doing it. Instead of having the big tail here on the back, you add more feathers to the wings, which kind of works because Dezarus was a kind of bird kaiju thing. And as far as Hellbat goes, give him the twin cannon barrel guns and those for the head. Again, very nice looking head. Most of the paint is still the same. You get more of this painted gray. It matches a little bit closer to the unpainted. some more of that yellow in throughout here. But yeah, he looks pretty good. Legs are pretty solid. The only looseness is in the elbows, which that could be easy. Just a little bit of floor polish. But yeah, he looks really good. Really happy with that. And for drill horn, go ahead and flip out that to complete the rhino head look. You get a lot more of this off-white, a little bit of red thrown in here just to break that up a little bit. Metallic blue in the face, red eyes. Give him a little barrel cannon here and the drill up top. You could still take it off and use it as like a hand drill or, you know, mount it on his arm, but I just prefer to leave it on his back. Kind of breaks up the look between him and Kill Bison. So that's pretty much it for these guys in robot mode. Really good looking team. I just, again, wish we had Leo, Zach, and Jaguar, but on that, so let's go ahead and get these guys into their combined mode. We'll do the transformation for him, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here we have the other 4 in combined mode, and to get Dezarus here into his combined mode, go ahead and take those off. I'll go ahead and put these back up and back like that. Now we're going to go over both the official transformation and the way I prefer to do it. So we'll go ahead and turn this around like that, bring down the front beast legs, bring those up like that. Focus here. Go ahead and bring that down. Again, same on this side. It's a bit tougher to get that one undone. There we go. And from here, bring this section around and down, and the opening here on the leg will go right over this little section here. So just like that. And the same on this side. Just like that. And we'll bring this whole section here around, and the fin will plug right into there. Go ahead and flip these fins back and rotate the combiner head. And we'll want to go ahead and close this all up. Just have that lay across. Now, the instructions, I guess, say to have it out like a tail, but I just prefer having it up against his back. And for the legs, go ahead and put Kill Bison, Drill Horn. He's already out of frame. Guy Hawk and Hellbat. So here he is in his official transformation. Now, as far as the weapons go ahead and put the black cannons down here on the legs. And give him the 2 white cannons. Now, as far as these, you can put them together as one big sword. And then for this guy, probably plug him into there, but it's not very secure. I mean, that comes right out of there, and he comes right out of there. So let's go ahead and just plug him into there. So now he's got a little dagger weapon. And thanks to my buddy Dakota, found out a way you can go ahead and put those on and make a bigger sword thing. Now this is pretty much the official transformation. The photographs on the box show the tanks just practically in tank mode attached. If you wanted to, you could do the whole Bruticus route of shortening them. I don't see why it's necessary. It makes them a little bit taller, and they're the same size, so there's nothing different between them like you would do with the dead end mold and drag strip, or the Rook mold. So I don't see any necessity to shorten the legs. Now, the way I prefer to have them transformed, we go ahead and rotate the head around, and take off Hellbat and Skyhawk, and we're going to have to take off all of them to do this, so go ahead and flip them around, bring the legs around this way, fold up the wings, bring this section up, and push the little section there in, and fold the wings out of the way, just so you can get these arms on. And put on the legs. And there's the way I prefer to have them transformed. You got kind of the same wing design here that you would on Liokaiser. Now, if you're like most people and don't have a very dirty mind, this is not going to bother you much, but I can see how some people could think it's a little inappropriate, so I found a little way to do it. I mean, it's not, there goes the arm. It's not a huge help, but bring a head around the combiner head, dragon head, and he falls over. Wow. He was doing just fine, now he's not wanting to cooperate. So there we go. You can either do it like that, or have it up to there to where it's not breaking up as much. I mean, it's up for interpretation, but then it kind of gives you that impression. So it's kind of hard to figure out. So, you know, I do like that right there, but then this becomes a problem. I mean, if you could, no, because then that just looks awkward too. Go ahead and bring that up. I mean, that could work. I mean, it looks like chest armor, but then it's in the way, and if you wanted to get inappropriate, I won't go any further with that, so I just kind of prefer to have it in jet mode and pretend it's just part of the jet. So, I mean, you can do that, and then you can bring out these to give them more of that original Liokaiser flare, and you can even flip these all the way out if you wanted to. So, I mean, if you could rotate him like right here and put this on the back and up against his back, but there's no way of doing that. So, I mean, the preferred way, I guess you could say, is this. I mean, there's a lot going on, but at the same time, it's not phallic in any way, and he keeps falling over. So that's the main problem, is these joints are a little loose, but at the same time, there's so much weight being put on the back that he's just going to tip back. Most of the time, this isn't an issue, but today it's just not wanting to cooperate with me, so. Alright, so before we end this video, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy Mike. You might know him as Autobot City Comics on Facebook, or BotConFan1978 on Twitter. He's part of the Cybercast and Galactic Gumbo. He's also got his own podcast. I believe it's called Not Just Another G.I. Joe Podcast. I will leave links down in the description below for you to go check him out. Again, Mike, big shout out. Thank you, buddy. Basically a Christmas gift to myself. So again, thank you for, you know, selling this to me. Really appreciate it, man. So, also, at the time of this recording, it is Christmas Eve. Well, it has just turned Christmas Eve. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so hope you guys enjoyed. All the links will be down in the description below for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. Again, also for Mike. Thanks again. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time.